All right, gentlemen. I think our kids are excited about getting into ACC play, and I think they're ready to roll. So, questions?
You had a couple of teams in your time here that were really good on the road. What sort of characteristics do you look for in a team that tells you that they're ready to go on the road in a hostile environment and get some wins?
I don't know. I mean, I hope they're ready to go home or away. It doesn't really matter. We don't care where we're playing. I think it's always, you're not looking for characteristics, but you're looking for guys that like the challenge, like to go into a different atmosphere, a different stadium, and that like to get booed. I mean, I don't know if there's any athletes that don't like that. It's kind of a fun atmosphere to go into somebody else's house and disrupt things. So that's kind of what we like to do. That's the plan going down to Atlanta or on any road trip.
When we talked to Brandon Hill, he talked a lot about how Corey Sanders has been training their eyes to stay on their man in coverage and not worry about other things. Does that kind of go into what you've been talking about, not trying to do so much to help other people, stay on your assignment and be assignment specific?
Yeah. And again, it's at every position, Chris. I mean, it's, there's, it's a D lineman, it's a center that's got to have great eye. I mean, your eyes are so important in the game of football. Your mind is important, your eyes are important. Everybody's got to have their eyes on something. I heard Alex Officer yelling at our, one of our GAs, obviously former offensive lineman, former center, yelling at Terrence Moore. I shouldn't say yelling at him, but just coaching him up like, what are you doing? He gets down, and the first thing he does, he got his head down, kind of, adjusting the ball. It's like you gotta have your eyes up and see what's going on at all times. And so it doesn't matter position. Linebacker's got to have his eyes focused where it's supposed to be. Different defenses, we have different keys that we're looking at. So you have to know where to put your eyes. So you need your eyes trained, and obviously, you might not see a fatal eye thing up front, whether it's a defensive end. Or a D lineman, or even a linebacker for that matter. But the ones you see are the ones in the back end. Those everybody gets to see those. It gets on ESPN, becomes a big play, and sometimes when you're staring in the backfield, everybody likes to see there's only one ball and they like to stare in the backfield. Sometimes we let them do that too. But when you're supposed to be, have eye control on your guy and put proper leverage, I mean, that's important. And when he's stemming you, you got to know what he's doing to you. A corner's got to have his eyes on the guy's hips when he releases. When he's going to break out, get into his breaking point. So, those are all a lot, fine details. It's good Brandon's talking about, but you better have eye control in the back end. And the safeties, a lot of times are King, their number 2 receiver, and they got him. It's what will get you on RPOs. Guys that we coach it every single day where guys running an RPO runs a route, but they want to peek back there and see, was it a run? They want to go see if it's a run. Well, guess what? You don't know it. And there's periods out there in team where we're running the ball and we're throwing a pass at the same time. So there's 2 plays going on at the same time, just to get them a rep out there and a rep inside for the run game. And again, there's never 2 balls, but they always want to get nosy. So we try to train them by throwing those RPOs in practice.
Corey told us that you guys always track, where the stripes of the helmets are pointed to see that. But he also said it kind of ramped up recently. Was that part of what you guys saw after the Western Michigan tape?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's always ramped up, but I think you're always looking at that. It hadn't ramped up for me, but maybe I know Coach Sanders has been on them hard about where their eyes are and finishing the play and driving on the route.
Pat, it was one of those little details that really get in college, and maybe in high school you didn't have to have as good eyes because you were just physically better.
Yeah, you're physically better, and they don't have a bunch of Division I team players on the other side. You might have a great quarterback over there, but you don't have a line that can block. But this level, and at that level out there, you better. It's the details. So those are the little details, and every position's got them. You can have a list of 10 or 15 things that you must do at every position just to be, on that first team. But then you lose. Sometimes you lose your eyes, and you get tired, and you get lazy, and it's important.
What have you seen from your linebackers this year, and has anything changed for their responsibilities this year without Rashad and Patrick up front?
No, nothing's changed. I mean, we play what we do. We have tweaks in for everything, including RPOs and all that, and when you can use them. And nothing's really changed. I mean, they're doing what they do. We're not adding anything to their plate as far as what they do and how they do it based on not having Rashad and Patrick.
Would there be enough snaps for 3 running backs? And how did the 3 running backs do in practice this week?
It's hard, Jerry. It's not easy. But we'll go out with the same plan. With Vince and Izzy to start off with, and then we'll give Rodney a chance and let him go out there and just find out who's got the hot hand. But we'll kind of go out with the same plan. But there's a place for Rodney, Hammond for sure.
Georgia Tech really got after Sam Howell last week with UNC. What kind of things are you guys keying in on for protection-wise to keep Kenny safe in this game and let him do his thing?
We've got to protect the quarterback. I mean, it's critical. It's something they do, and our offense is used to seeing some 3 down and bringing different pressures, and we're gonna have to play with great technique up front. Owen Drexel's gonna get things operating the right way and get our people in the right way, and I'm sure they'll have some more for us that we haven't seen on tape. So we're gonna have to adjust to whatever that is, and we've got to protect Kenny, and that's a priority going into the game.
Does that mean Owen's playing?
What's that?
Does that mean Owen's playing?
Yes, it does mean Owen's playing.
Okay.
Settle.
There you go, Jerry.
I didn't say a word.
Owen's playing.
What do you think of this Georgia Tech defense? What just as like a defensive coach, what kind of catches your eye about the way they're implementing that scheme?
I just love how they play. I mean, they play like you're supposed to play the game of football. They play with an attitude. They play fast, and they're a little bit reckless. And I think it's a good thing. They'll turn it loose, and they're talented and well coached.
How does the changes they made? How does it make them different this year?
Again, it went from a 4 down to a 3 down. That's what makes them different. And I think they're putting their best athletes on the field. Maybe they didn't feel like they had 4 D linemen that they liked. So they're just putting more athletes on the field. They've got them down south. They've got them in Georgia, and they're playing fast and playing at a high level right now. So we're going to have to protect the quarterback. And obviously, UNC didn't, and so we'll find out where our protection is compared to their protection.
Is what they're doing.
And then Kenny's got to get the ball out too.
Are they doing some similar stuff to what you do on 3rd downs? Is it
Similar, but not. It's different. It's different. It's I would say it's different.
In your experience, is it easier or harder to run against a three-man line compared to a 4-man line?
Depends on who those guys are over there. If I lined you guys all up in the 3-4, it'd be easy. Didn't matter what the front you lined up in. Okay, but
Scheme-wise, I'm talking.
I would say it's harder and it's easier. I mean, there's a little bit. It all depends on what your runs are and what you're doing and how you're doing it. So the big difference is it's new. Yeah, it does make a difference because it's different. So the difference is it easier or harder? It would be easier for our guys if they worked against it every single day. But what makes it hard is it's like going against a wing tee. You go against a wing tee, you get to see it one time a year or one time. So it's totally new for you, and so that's new. And I'm sure it's new for North Carolina. They didn't expect it, as much as maybe they got it. Maybe they thought it was just a Clemson thing, and but we know we're going to see it. We know what we got, and hopefully that's an advantage.
You've always had an aggressive defensive front. You got guys like Hava and Kansas and Camp who are getting after it, and they're used to rushing the passer. But is there a sense that, like, hey, you guys got to be a little more patient in this game with the athletic quarterbacks today? Like, what's the kind of adjustment that you make when you're facing those kind of quarterbacks?
To me, you don't want to slow down. We were worried about the quarterback last week. I mean, we're going to face a good quarterback every week. And again, I thought the kid last week was talented. So you don't want to slow down. I don't want to put our guys in this hesitate, slow down. Let's, so I always talk about this, and you guys have probably heard me talk about it. There's 2 modes we always put our kids in, and one mode I hate. So very rarely do we ever have to go to that. There's capture mode, which we're trying to capture, make sure he doesn't get out of the pocket, which just gives him all kinds of time to get home, or it's kill mode, and we're going after him. And very rarely are we in that capture mode. Maybe on a down and distance, maybe in a certain defense we're in that, where you're trying to spy the quarterback. But it's kill mode is the mode that we like to be in, weekly, and let our guys go, trust them to go make a play, and turn it loose and get there. It's kind of like breaking down on a tackle or taking a shot. I like to go take a shot at the guy, not give him a chance to wiggle you and break you down. So we like to take a shot, and we always talk about if you're going to miss, which side do you miss on? But go take a shot, and we've got to do a better job at that as well.
Obviously, the passing game this year has been pretty successful for you guys. How do you balance, sticking with what's working, but also trying to, improve the running game each week?
You got to continue to work on it. I mean, we've known for a couple of years that Kenny can throw it. Our receivers out there are good. It would be ways to sit there and keep running it up in there when you can have some talented guys and you trust your passing game. But sooner or later that runs out, and something goes bad. You got to be able to run it. So we've got to test the run. We've got to get it up in there, And again, I think the run game gets going after you continue to run it. It's hard to get in a rhythm, when you go 3 and out. So that hurts your run game immediately. So you got to get it. When our offense gets a first down, things start to roll, and that's the big thing is let's get a first down and get into a rhythm. It's hard as heck as a play caller to call an offense when you're 3 and out. Like there's nothing setting up anything. It's like 3 plays and you had no time to set up a certain formation or a run or a pass. So. But we got to get our run game going. Again, I feel like once we do start getting it going, that you can get it going. But sometimes you're going to take 1 yard gain, 1 yard gain, 1 yard gain, 2 yard gain, 1 yard TFL to get that 40-yard run. And you got to go with it. But it all comes down to the time. What's the defense doing when they're on the field, and it's having some patience, but not too many patience. I don't have a whole lot of patience.
What is their rotation at quarterback? Is there a reason? Do they just ride a hot hand?
No, Jeff, in the opener, obviously Sims started, and Sims got hurt. We ran a zone read keeper and hurt his shoulder, it looks like on tape. I don't get their injury report. Maybe Jared, you got the injury report?
I'll let you know later.
How about now? So it appeared to be a shoulder injury on kind of a zone read. He was trying to keep it in a 3-by-1 tray set and dropped the ball, had to dive after it, and I think got hurt, following that play, I believe. And I don't know if it was nagging in practice the week before or not, so you don't know what was going on there. So then Yates took over and ran the offense, and then he started. He was doing well, and he's a good football player. He's fast. He can do a lot of different things. I think he throws the ball well and makes good decisions. And then they planned on putting in Sims, I believe, at some point in that game, and then he just sparked. He sparked some quarterback runs, and it's not just quarterback draws or scrambles, Chris, as you're talking. It's more of they have some legit quarterback counters and runs that are specific for him. Whether it be a quarterback draw, quarterback counter. So they'll have some stuff that maybe we haven't seen. They'll have designated quarterback runs, designed quarterback runs, I should say, for Sims for sure. And Yates will fall and do the same things at times, just not as many.
Is the key for you defensively to keep Sims in the pocket? Your ends coming up and making sure that it doesn't escape?
The key is to go get him, right? It's not contain him. We want to go get him. And as Chris asked earlier, so we just want to go get the guy and go make a play. That's their job.
Kill over capture.
Yes. Thanks.
Kid-educated man down there.
We don't want to. We're not going to contain him and keep him in there and let him have all day to throw it. As soon as you tell a guy to do that, they start to. Your coach says I can't lose contain, so they stay on the edge and they rush soft.
Then your tackle come up the middle.
Yeah.
Guy like Cansey could take advantage of him sitting in the pocket.
Yeah, he could.
But because of that mobility.
They might have 2 guys on him, right?
That's true.
But with that mobility, you need to make sure that your back end guys are staying on the receivers because of the extra time.
That's right. So you just got to go play football. It's no different than any other game. We played athletic quarterbacks before, so.
Jordan leads the nation in touchdown receptions right now. I know he's got to be excited, but what kind of messages are you guys pumping into him? Because he's a young kid. Kenny's kind of, he's been here a long time. He gets that. But, this is his 2nd year ACC play. What kind of message do you guys kind of do to keep him in check, or do you feel like that's something you guys even have to do?
I don't think we have to keep him in check. Jordan is a special kid. I should probably put you with him. He's just like this every day. You get the same. I never have to say, Jordan, what are you doing? I never have to tell him to clean his locker. I never have to tell him to take his hat off at a meal. Jordan is Jordan Addison. His mom Keisha's done an unbelievable job of raising him, and he's just like this. And he never gets too high or too low. He stays right down the middle, and not a guy that I have to say, he's not going to take a practice off because this hurts or that hurts. He goes and plays every day.
The Coastal Division has become somewhat notorious for being wide open. You guys did a commercial about it, I think, even.
I didn't do any commercial.
I thought there was, maybe, I don't know if you were in, maybe.
There was some stupid commercial.
Yeah.
I thought it was embarrassing, to be honest with you. I think the ACC put it together. It's kind of a joke, but I wasn't really happy with that. But we didn't have anything to do with that.
What does that do though for you? Do you talk about that with your team, that this is a division that Yeah, you guys can win it. But everybody thinks that too. Every coming at the beginning of ACC play, every locker room is sitting there thinking, yeah, we can win this thing.
Yeah, Al, we're not getting into, winning it. We need to win. This is the ACC championship game down in Atlanta. It's a 1-game season. We got an open week afterwards. Put everything we can into this one game, and then we'll put everything into that next game. And what I don't want our guys is looking like, oh yeah, we can win it. Coastal, Atlantic. We going to play Clemson in the championship game. Normally, it's a slam dunk. We know who we're going to play if we get there. But we just got to take one game at a time. And I know you guys think it's coach speak, but it's real talk. You look ahead, you're going to get punched in the mouth. And I don't like getting punched. I'd like to throw the swing first. You ain't getting a shot on me.
Adults think that way, but are kids able to think that way in your experience?
I think our kids are good. I think they understand that. You start looking ahead, you're gonna have an issue. I think they, there's a lot of things I don't think they can do, but that's one thing I think that they understand that. I really do. I think they get it. There's got to be total focus. I mean, if you got 75% focus, we just talked about eyes. Okay, when you think about your brain, if your brain's not focused on today, okay, what you can do today. I mean, even we're not looking forward to Saturday. Today, we're looking forward to what we did in practice today. Tomorrow, we're looking through walk through and meetings and cleaning up the details. But there's every day we just can't go too far ahead, and it's day by day. Even though the focus is on Georgia Tech, it's focused on us. We can't beat ourselves on Thursday. We can't beat ourselves on Friday. We have to take care of Pitt football first. Saturday's coming, and we'll get that other different color jersey over there, but we have to take care of Pitt first. And I think our kids get that. I don't think there's a lot of things, do they think they can win games maybe that, they think are going to be easier than, now I don't know if I can control that, you hope you can in your building for 2-3 hours a day, but what happens the other, 18, 19 hours a day, I don't know.
Let's say your focus might have helped you against a team like New Hampshire. They didn't they had to know that New Hampshire was an FCS team, and they still had a good effort anyway.
Sometimes you have to learn the hard way, right? You don't like to, learn the hard way, but like I said after that game, I mean, rather learn there than learn in the ACC because, our goals are there. But again, our goals are, Georgia Tech, one team. It's all matters. Game number 5. They keep going there. They fly by. You don't get many opportunities. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen.